The angel devil, or simply put angel, is not a member of the main cast, rather he is a support character which has the honor of being one of the most intriguing of the characters, simple owing to his association with Makima, his past, his ideals, and his thought processes in the current storyline. This video is looking at his character specifically, so as to express why Angel amongst all the characters in Chainsaw Man expresses one of its core themes of duality and opposites to a stunning degree. First off, there is simple the fact that he is a devil but also an angel, two beings which are put on two of the furthest ends of the spectrum, yet Angel embodies both of them in equal measure. His appearance, his personality, the role he serves in the story, the relationships he makes, the conflicts that he faces and the development he goes through all highlight this idea of a dual existence. But before I get into the actual analysis, I'd like you to go down to remind you that if you're interested in Chainsaw Man, then you are most definitely in the right place, and that if you want to keep up to date with new Chainsaw Man content every week, then go down below the video and hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell to know when I upload a new video. But with that out of the way, let's get into this. Starting with Angel's appearance, initially appears as an androgynous male character, sporting a halo above his head and a pair of white feathered wings. At first this might appear to just be a means of playing up the fact that he is the angel devil, but it must be stated that while in pop culture often angels are presented as these glowing, beautiful beings with a glowing halo and a pair of white feathered wings, that isn't the case with every single angel. Rather, in many cases of angels being described in biblical texts, they aren't anything less than otherworldly beings that wouldn't look out of place in a H.P. Lovecraft novel. Whereas the devil, often presented in films and other media as a red-skinned, horned individual, or some other inhuman creature that is supposed to scare or otherwise intimidate people, it would be more accurate to say that the devil is beautiful, at least physically, because it is far easier to manipulate and to control someone through a visage of beauty than it is to control people through the image of a monster. So Angel appearing as a beautiful being, while also being presented with holy symbology, highlights the duality of his existence. Adding on to this is the way in which Angel creates his weapons. He pulls them from the halo which float either above or near his head, turning what is in a sense a holy symbol into a means of inflicting harm upon others, inverting the characteristic of those often displayed with halos, from peaceful to violent. It should be mentioned also that this halo isn't strictly made out of light but rather, seems to be made out of the life force from which Angel drains from others, only further suggested by fact that his halo is the source of his weapons, and even while under the control of Makima, these weapons come forth from the halo, in response for a call for life force. And finally there is the fact that when Angel, pushed to use immense force, seems to undergo some sort of metamorphosis, taking on what looks to be three vaguely humanoid individuals, with their legs bound together and arms spread out wide as if crucified, once again displaying what is a holy symbol, a display of the undying love that God has for the people, and it is then transformed into a weapon to hurt the people, a means of harming the innocent, which is the exact opposite of what the crucifixion means in a religious context. Angel's personality upon first interaction can be considered rather gloomy, lazy, and just all around not the most inspiring or friendly of individuals. With his first appearance being when he consumes the flesh off a slain zombie and saying how he would rather wait outside than actually fight. He also shows himself to be a rather unstated sadist, stating that humans should die suffering or suffer before they die. He also has no issue in telling Aki that he doesn't want to kill someone using his powers because he doesn't want to give them a quick death. However, in contrast to this, he goes out of his way to protect Aki's innocence, whatever little of it remains, when he goes against Makima's request to bring Aki to help kill Reese, showing some genuine care for Aki, who is a human, one who had formerly stated he could never get on with Angel. Angel has also shown a genuine worry for Aki, such as when during Typhoon's attack, Aki grabbed hold of his hand and ended up losing even more of his already diminished life force. Angel also shows that while believing that humans should die suffering, that when it is convenient, he will use his powers to kill off an injured human, ending their suffering in order to assist someone else, showing that while he isn't fond of helping humans, at least not helping them reach their final destination, his stance on the matter isn't unshakable. The lack of work ethic and general disregard for human life might be a byproduct of his history both with humans and with Makima. As while we know that Angel's memories with regards to what Makima forced him to do are somewhat suppressed throughout most of the series, it still appears even while suppressed memories are able to influence the personality of an individual. So while Angel states to not care about human well-being or feelings, it seems more likely due to past trauma. Angel is going against his own desires and ethics to protect others from himself. We see prior to meeting Makima, Angel appeared to have a positive relationship with the humans he came into contact with, even having a lover, who seemed to reciprocate those emotions from the brief amount of time we get to see with them. So the drastic alteration in his personality seems to be the result of grief and an honest desire to avoid further pain from forming important relationships. Also, Angel's desire or rather lack of concern for his own well-being and continued life, points to a potential unconscious amount of survivor's guilt, or just the desire to return to those he had lost, even if he couldn't remember them. Angel's personality truly exemplifies the idea that we all have two different sides, the side we show to those around us and our true self. Angel creates a persona in opposition to his true self, highlighting the duality of his existence. The role in which Angel plays in the plot is also dual-sided. On one half he is working with Aki, protecting Aki and helping out the protagonists. On the other side, he is working for Makima. He is keeping secrets, dangerous secrets not only from Aki but from Denji and the several other members of the cast. For every moment when Angel is helping Aki or Denji, there is a moment when he's killing Riz or doing some other shady thing under Makima's instructions. Angel also plays a role in becoming one of the important people in Aki's life, as even with the small amount of time we get to see them on screen together there is a clear bond forming there, not only assisted by Aki's recent growing affections for Denji and Power but because Angel is slowly starting to notice the cracks in his reality, hence why he is one of the few if only people to question why Aki likes Makima so much, rather than just blindly accepting it. Angel also serves the dual purpose of filling both the characters, mainly Aki as well as the reader about the secrets of hell, while also creating more mysteries and leaving us with greater unanswered questions, once again highlighting the dual nature of his purpose within the story as a secret keeper, truth-teller and mystery former. The relationships which Angel forms with various members of the cast aren't a focus in the story, for the most part with us only getting to see various points along the progression rather than getting to see the whole line play out in front of us, leaving us to fill in the blank space with our own imagination. The most obvious relationship of significance for Angel is clearly the one that he has with Aki. Aki being his partner, reluctant as he is at first to work with a devil, especially one so lazy and uncaring for human life. But as with all things involving Angel, this gets turned on its head as their relationship continues to develop, with Aki willfully and intentionally shortening his own lifespan in order to save Angel from meeting his head during Typhoon's attack. Angel also shows genuine interest in keeping Aki out of trouble. Examples include when he goes against Makima's wishes, by not bringing Aki to help finish off Riz, or when he accompanies Aki when he goes to speak with Makima, even after having lost both his arms, and essentially being given what he wanted, a death sentence. Aki and Angel's relationship is also responsible for providing Angel with a desire to live and pulling him free from a pit of depression, as that is what Angel seemed to be suffering with, depression and survivor's guilt along with a whole mess of other traumas. His continued interactions with Aki serves to strengthen his resolve to live, to the point when confronting Makima, seeing Aki all but give in to Makima's control is enough to awaken the memories which Makima had sealed away within him. Of all the people in the series, Aki is the only person that Angel seems to want to protect, willingly breaking his own taboos to make sure he survives, and Aki seems to reciprocate those feelings as he steps in to protect Angel from Quanx's attack, that none of the others had even been able to predict. The relationship which Angel has with Denji is significantly less developed than the one he has with Aki, perhaps down to the less time they get to interact, but at the very least Angel seems willing to help Denji, if only to help preserve his own and Aki's life, such as when he feeds Denji his own blood in order to save him, and when Angel willingly broke his own taboo to kill a human with his powers so that he could then feed their blood to Denji. Notable, this seems to only have been promoted by Aki's instructions as well as the danger which Reason Typhoon posed to himself and those around him. It should also be noted that while Angel does not appear to hold any hostility towards Denji, he does not inform him about what he knows of the Chainsaw Devil, or rather Pochito and his connections to Hell and the fear of a great many devils, leaving him in the dark for why a significant portion of devils seem particularly interested in seeing him dead or captured, effectively hanging him out to die without even knowing why. The relationship which Makima and Angel have is the most complicated one of Angel's web of connections by far, filled with deceit, falsities and lies piled on top of one another to create an illusion of camaraderie. The relationship which Angel has with Makima is one which is dual-sided more so than any other, with Angel at first following Makima's instructions without conflict, but as he forms deeper connections to this loyalty wavers and Angel begins to actively go against Makima's instructions. Although notable, he doesn't seek to undermine her or actively resist her, only passively allowing her to accomplish her goals, while at the same time refusing to help them more than he is required to. Angel's relationship with Makima isn't further expanded upon until we get Angel's backstory, upon which the relationship which Angel and Makima had completely crumbles away and a red-hot fury flows through Angel's veins as he attempts to strike her down, for his sake, for the sake of those he had lost and those he had yet to lose. Angel attempts to take Makima's life, notable the first person he has ever killed, if you don't consider the devils which he helped to execute or the zombies, or dolls, all of which are either going to revive in hell or could barely considered alive at this point. The only other individual would be the already dying individual he kills to save Denji, Oris, who was arguably killed by Makima more than she was Angel, since we know that devils and especially hybrids can regenerate, even in their human form, from immense trauma and injuries, so it is unlikely that the single spear from which Angel impaled with would have killed her, and again she comes back later presumable still alive rather than a blood puppet, making it pretty clear that Angel has completely blown his top and has genuine hatred in his heart for Makima, something he never displayed before and would unfortunately never get to display again. The other relationships which Angel has, are even less developed than the one he has with Denji. We are told about via his flashback how many people he cared about and even a lover, but we aren't ever shown extensively how their relationship was before Makima's actions, so it's impossible to properly analysis. But the fact that he was responsible for killing those he cared about, even if while under Makima's control, further plays into his defining feature of being someone full of contradiction and opposition. The central conflict that Angel's character is dealing with throughout his appearance, is the guilt over something he can't remember and the knowledge that while he seems to care deeply for those around him, he can't and doesn't want to risk getting close to them, once again for reasons he cannot remember outside of his basic biology as the Angel Devil. Angel pushes against this conflict with every notable action that he takes, from protecting Aki, to deliberately trying to push others away, to eventually finding some camaraderie and friendship with his partner. It is unfortunate, but Angel's story was cut short and thus the conflicts of his past and his present went unresolved, less of course he return in the future, as he didn't seem to have been outright killed by Chainsaw Man, Denji or Makima, but it's impossible to tell, especially with devils. The development which Angel goes through, is also paradoxical, as rather than progressing forwards, it seems as if Angel is instead reverting back to how he was before his interactions with Makima, returning to his true self, unburdened by guilt and the crushing pressure of Makima weighing him down. Angel's development in a way is the recovery and acceptance of his true self, without hiding it behind layers of deception, feinted disinterest, and seemingly disingenuous malice. When Angel recovers his memories and after spending time with Aki, in his final moments consciously aware and in control of himself, is when he finally returns to how he was before, and symbolizing this is how he is able to retake control, if only for a moment, to try and strike out at Makima, attempting to take her life, for himself, for the first time in the entire series. Once again, I state that Angel is the character which best represents the idea of duality and a contradicting nature, which is a key backdrop to the entire series that I feel goes ignored a lot of the time for the more obvious themes and the fighting which takes away the attention from the intricacies of Fujimoto's writing. But this is all I have to say for Angel at the current time. If you enjoyed, feel free to leave a like on the video to help promote it. If you're so inclined, tell me your own thoughts on this fascinating individual. And finally, if you're new and you want to keep up to date with when I post a new video, the best way is to subscribe and ring the bell icon. I've been the Anonymous Weeb, and I wish you a good day or night wherever you might be.